Not that anything in this game is predictable, but this particular game seems to have a pattern. Pakistan won pretty much the first half, the first 10 overs of India's batting effort. India came back in the second 10 overs. Now it's been a decent start for Pakistan in the first 10. All India need to do is continue the trend, and they should be home and dry. Easier said than done. 151 for 7 is what India got. Looked like a top total, really, in the context of an India Pakistan battle, in the context of the surfaces, and where Pakistan are now, are 71 without loss. Once again, that little factor we talked about, wickets in the power play, have not happened. They haven't happened in the first 10 overs. Good opening partnership by Rizwan and Babar Azam to try and see if for that second 10 overs will happen or not. I'm joined on Cricbuzz Comm Box by Zaheer Khan. Was I just plucking at straws, looking at dreams, if I'm thinking of that? Or can India really squeeze them?
You're spot on, GB. I think the wickets is the key here, and Pakistan has done very well not to lose any. So that's something which definitely has put Indian bowling under pressure right now. For them to get back in the game now, if you see the required rate is around eight runs per over, so you got to push that rate somehow to 10. And back to back wickets is what I was thinking. Like if for the Indian team they get back to back wickets, suddenly that panic happens. Two new batters at the crease. You got to work again to get things moving, and that's the opportunity which will work in India's favor at this point. If you don't happen to get that, then things will get difficult, because we all know how difficult it gets if you don't get wickets, and if two set batters are batting that. So far, you have to give it to the Pakistan openers. They ran very well. I think they were very smart about putting the balls in the gaps, and then making sure that they're running hard, getting those twos. And that's something which you don't really realize, because if you look at the strike rates, also they're not massive, but both have contributed equally, and that's something which Pakistan unit will be very happy with.
Yes, I think it's not something that we have seen, or not something you can judge from a scorecard. And I'm glad Zahir Khan pointed it out, because lots of those areas, or vacant areas around mid wicket to mid on to long on, have been exploited for twos, and they've done that really well. But from a bowling perspective, I know early on when we were having a little chat off air, you were disappointed that they didn't start with Jasprit Bumrah right at the very outset.
I think so. You started to start. You wanted to start with your best bowler. Him coming at number three. But the clear plan is that the conscious effort of using Bumrah only for 1 over, and then now in the back 10 of the innings now. When you're defending, you have Bumrah's 3 overs. So maybe the thought process was around that the game is going to go down to the wire. So let's just have our main bowler bowling those overs, taking that pressure. I think Jadeja's overs are also going to be key. How he goes about in these next maybe 3 or 4 overs, he will be bowling a couple of overs of them. Varun Chakravarti, I felt was fantastic. He's really played his part. Yes, a wicket column, some numbers there would have been perfect for him, but nonetheless, playing the first World Cup game, the pressure is on, and you land your first over right on the length, with the mystery factor which everyone were anticipating that will come to his favor, has certainly worked.
But on Varun Chakravarti, you've got to give credit to the Pakistan openers. They had a plan. They were not going to go after him. They said, if we have to give 4 overs for 18 runs maybe to Varun Chakravarti, let's go for it. If we don't know enough about him, why go after him?
Clearly, and as he bowled more overs, you saw them walking across, looking to just put the ball in that mid wicket region and run twos. So that was a clear plan. Plan was to not to give him wickets, and plan was not to really lose wickets. Clearly, we are talking about how aggressive Pakistani batsmen are going to be, and they have taken that cautious route, giving importance to the wickets, and making sure that the partnership, the platform of the partnership is set very nicely.
At this stage, I know it's still early days, but and we will assess this at the end of the game. But are India missing an extra bowling option? Is this the kind of game where you see maybe Bhuvaneshwar's gone for a few? You want to just toss the ball to somebody and see what happens?
Not really. I think that these are your five best bowlers. The sixth bowling option is luxury to have, and it's something like a support option. Yes, if you have a sixth bowling option which is aggressive and wicket taking option, then it's a different ball game. But right now, when you look at this bowling lineup, you should be happy with these five bowlers who are capable of defending any sort of total. Uh, but I think today you've seen Pakistan with the ball also set the tone right, and with the bat also they've set the tone right, which has basically now meant that Indian bowlers or Indian team had more work cut out for the whole game.
Just a final thought. I know these are only lips that we can read from here, but we saw a pep talk from Virat Kohli at drinks, which was expected. Ashwin came out, maybe just a bit of strategy, trying to do something a little bit different, because the one factor that's going against them is the dew.
Communication is key. So in these sort of situations, you got to have your options cut out. You got to communicate around the whole group, and maybe those twos which are going. Also they must have talked about that as well. How you can cut it. Maybe the longer boundary, the deep mid wicket fielder needs to be a bit more up, because the batters are not really looking to take those high risk options, which means you just got to stay that one step ahead of them in terms of creating a run out opportunity, maybe.
Well, Dinesh Karthik did mention that a six bowling option could perhaps be P for pressure. Hasn't happened so far. They've handled it. The other option could have been Cricbuzz Comm Box. That hasn't taken wickets either. So just going by those signs at the moment, Pakistan edging ahead, but there's still the business end to come. Still, don't give anything away. That's all from Cricbuzz Comm Box.